Guys, it's Kara from iStampin.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really nice Sending Prayers note card. I thought the Sending Prayers was a nice sentiment just for many different kind of situations you may need to send a Sending Prayers card for encouragement, or if something happened in the family. I just think that's just a really nice sentiment. The stamp set that I used for that is, I'm going to say, our next generation of Teeny Tiny Wishes. Teeny Tiny Wishes had been in Stampin' Up's catalog for many, many years. It did just retire at the end of May. And this is our new version of Teeny Tiny Wishes, I'll say. So it's Itty Bitty Greetings. It has 32 stamps, and I love it because it's a little bit larger than Teeny Tiny Wishes, and it has really, really pretty fonts, and of course just wonderful sentiments that you can use for a variety of occasions throughout the year. For the wreath that I die cut out, I am using Barn Door. So this is a stamp set that carried over from the Occasions catalog. So what I did here is I used some 3 different colors to die cut out the wreath and the flowers, and I'm going to show you how to do that and how to attach that. And then for the background, I used Oh So Eclectic. I just thought that the card needed a little bit of texture, so I just did just a little bit of stamping in the background, and then with the vellum I embossed that. So why don't we get started, and I'll show you what you'll need. Oh, and to do the die cutting, you will need to have your sliding door framelits. Okay, so I'm going to put this off to the side, and we can get started. I did do all the die cutting in advance just because, just to save time. So I don't think y'all need to watch me die cut everything. So you will need your Big Shot for that. All right, so I've already cut a piece of powder pink cardstock, so you'll need powder pink. This is 5 by 7, and I've already scored this at 3.5. Oh, and let me show you where I got the inspiration for this color combination. So if you were a preferred customer and have received the annual catalog, you also received one of these color combination sheets. So for this one, I really wanted to use Call Me Clover, one of our new in colors. So I thought this was a really pretty combination. Now the only thing that I did change is that it shows petal pink, but I wanted to use powder pink. So this is a really great resource. So I hope that my customers who received it are using it. If you have not received an annual catalog and don't currently have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and would like to receive one of these, just email me or comment below on the video and I'll get back in touch with you. So the next thing that we're going to do is pull out our powder pink ink, and we're going to go ahead and do the background stamping. And like I said, this is just, just adding a little bit of texture, so a nice tone on tone. And I'm just stamping randomly. Not a whole lot. This is just subtle. And then the next thing I did is pulled out our white craft ink. Now mine looks different than what you receive now. So if that's the case, then yours is right. Okay, and I'm just going to add just this white randomly. Just one more right there. Okay, so we've got our background done. Since this is craft ink, it's a little bit wetter, takes a little bit longer for it to dry, so we're just going to put that off to the side. And then the next thing that we will need is some Whisper White cardstock. So what you will need to do to create this wreath with the flowers is you're going to stamp this wreath 3 different times in 3 different colors. So the colors that you'll need to do the wreath are Call Me Clover, so that's one of our new in colors, Flirty Flamingo, and Powder Pink. So I'm going to start with Call Me Clover, and I'm I'm just going to stamp it right there. Okay, so what you'll want to do is either, whatever way you like to clean. I am in love with our new Simply Chamois. You will want to clean in between each time you stamp. So this is a great tool. If you didn't see me demonstrate this on my Facebook Live, I absolutely love it. I keep it in our slimline, I guess it's our standard clear case, and I just wet it and it stays moist throughout the day. So that's a great tool, and it's a really nice base to be able to hold on to. Okay, so here's Flirty Flamingo. And I'm getting so much better closing and opening up our new stamp cases. It was pretty, I struggled at the beginning, I'll tell you. It was just different. So it didn't take me long to get used to the new way. So if you're struggling, just keep practicing. Okay, and then the last color is Powder Pink. And we're just gonna come right there. So what we're going to do now is you would pull out your Big Shot, and you are just going to place, and actually, you know what? This is what I recommend doing first. Because these are small, well, especially the flowers. So these are the framelits that you're going to need, is the wreath and the 3 different size flowers. So this is what I would recommend, is to go ahead and place everything on your cardstock. And I would recommend getting out some washi tape. You've got plenty, I'm sure. This is just some old washi tape. Now, if you're using the magnetic platform, I suggest doing this regardless, because these little guys will still move around. So go ahead and get all of your framelits on the flowers, and these little guys, you want to line it up. You just rotate it until you find the right position. Okay, so this little guy is tiny. Okay, all right, and then you're gonna I'm gonna die cut the large flower out in Petal Pink. Okay, so there we go. And then what you want to do is just take this on over to your Big Shot, use the magnetic platform, and then you should have really good results. When you die cut all that out, then you'll just come back with the second Flirty Flamingo flower. Go ahead and just die cut that out. Okay, so I hope that helps. But like I said, I've already done that for us. Okay, so here's all the little pieces that you'll need. If I can get this one turned over right. There we go. And to attach the flowers, I'm using a combination of our mini glue dots and then our mini Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to start off and put the Flirty Flamingo flowers on first, because those are going to be flat. So I'm just taking a glue dot and just putting it behind the flower. And you do want to match it up. So before you place it down, just figure out the way it goes. Now this one, for your glue dot, you may need to roll it up a little bit. The glue dot's almost the same size as the flower. So just kind of mush it in there. Same thing, just rotate it until you find the right way it goes. And I'm actually gonna do this with the paper piercer because my fingers are getting stuck to the glue dot. Let's see here. Nope. It's like doing puzzle pieces. There we go. Okay, and then the very last one, the large flower, we're going to use a mini dimensional and just put one right in the center. So this one pops up. And again, just figure out the way it goes. There we go. Well, okay. And then there's our little wreath. If you need to shift it, you can kind of like, manipulate it, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So there's our cute little wreath. So we'll put that off to the side. We have a little bit of stamping left to do. So the next thing you're going to want to do is to cut a strip of Whisper White cardstock 3/4 of an inch wide. The length doesn't really matter at this time. So this is about 5 inches long. But I'm going to be using our brand new Stamparatus to make this super easy. I demonstrated this in my last video, but if you haven't seen it, this is Stampin' Up's new stamp positioning tool, and it comes with 2 lids, so you're able to, stamp this way or stamp this way. I'm left-handed, so you can see mine's upside down. That's just how I work. If you're left-handed, you understand. We've been dealing with things upside down for many, many years. And I am just going to come up here and just line it up with one of the inch mark lines and just put my magnet down. And then, because this is clear mount stamps, we don't need the foam pad that comes with it. This is what you want to use when you're using photopolymer. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this down and I'm going to pick it up with the lid, and then if I didn't get the stamp straight, then I'll be able to, actually, let me just do it this way. I'll be able to line it up. So there's some etched lines here on the lid, and that really makes it easy to make sure that your stamp is straight on the lid. Okay, the other tip that I think is brilliant is to grab one of the stamp cases from the stamps that you're using and just, let me move all this stuff over here. Just put it underneath the lid, and then this makes stamping, let me move this down a little bit, and this makes inking up the stamp a lot easier. So I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo and just lightly ink that up. If for any reason I didn't ink this up perfectly, I can come back and repeat, and I'll have great results. Perfect. It was perfect the first time. And the reason why I like to use the Stamparatus for these tiny stamps like this is because they are small, and I struggled with teeny tiny wishes before we had a stamp positioner like this, so this just makes it almost, the results that you'll get will be perfect. Okay, and let's go ahead and do our embossing on this. Well, I'll cut this down in just a minute. Okay, so the next thing I've done, and you probably can barely see it, is I've cut a piece of vellum. This is 3/4 of an inch wide by 3 inches. And I am going to be using our Softly Falling Texture Impressions embossing folder, and I'm just placing it in where it has a knot up at the top because I want a little bit of texture, so I'm kind of placing it where it's still right around here where it's not a lot of dots, it's still kind of scattered. And then I'm just going to close that, make sure that it's straight, and then we'll run this through the Big Shot. So for this, you just want to have your regular platform, a plate. Let's place this down, and then another plate, and then we'll just run this through. And so when we're done, it looks like this. And I love embossing with vellum because it mimics the white that I stamped on the card. So I love that look. And so we're just going to be adding that to the card, and I am just going to use snail for this. And I'm just going to lightly put snail on there because it is vellum. You can see through the adhesive, so if you just barely put any on, or that should, it shouldn't show through. Okay, and so I've just laid that in the center of the card. And let's go ahead and cut down our sending prayers. I've got my little tabletop trimmer. So I'm going to leave, I just eyeball all this. I'm going to leave a little bit on the left side, enough for me to be able to tie some twine around it. So that looks about right. And then I'm going to come in on this side and just notch it with my scissors. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like when it's done. All right, so let's go ahead and put our wreath on our card, and I'm using mini dimensionals again for this. And I am going to put quite a few on there because I want to make sure that this is well supported. So putting one behind each flower, and then a few behind the wreath, the greenery part. Okay, that looks good. If you've gotten the new catalog and your wish list is just so long, which is understandable because there's so many great things, I'm offering my iStampin' Club again. So I'd love for you to take a look at it, to read about it, and see if that is something that you would be interested in joining. And it's an economical way to be able to space out your items that you'd like to purchase on your wish list. So what happens is you're guaranteed to be a hostess once during the 6-month commitment, and you'll earn all of the Stampin' rewards. So I'll link that below, and you can take a look at that, read more about it. If you want to join, just let me know. You do receive a goodie bag from me at the end of your 6 months, so you're getting close to $40 in value just by signing up. It is a $25 month commitment for 6 months, but like I said, it's a great way to economically get a lot of things that are on your wish list. Okay, so what I've done is I've just cut off some Whisper White baker's twine, and I'm wrapping the baker's twine around the left side of the banner quite a few times. I'm just going to come in here and tie a knot. And I know that I'm covering up the words, but I'm okay with that because I can slide it down. I just want to get this thing knotted first. This is just a nice little bit of texture that you can add. Okay, so now that I've got it knotted up, I can slide this down, and now I'll just tie a bow. And then just come in here and pull the tails until you get the loops the size that you want. That looks good. And I'm just going to take my scissors and cut off the excess. And if I feel like I need to cut off some more, I can do that. Okay, so let's bring our card back in. And that's just going to go right there on top of the wreath. So what you'll want to do, and here I just used our small dimensionals again. I'm going to put 2 right here, and then I can just use a glue dot and put that behind the twine, and then that will help stick the left side to the wreath. Whoops. Okay. And then just make sure it's on straight. And there we go. So it's our nice little Sending Prayers card with some added detail with the punched out flowers in different colors, which I just think really makes it pop. And so here's the original one, so you can see that the backgrounds are going to be different. And I just really think that's a sweet card. All right, guys, well, I hope you liked today's project. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you head on over to istampin.com, sign up for my newsletter, and I hope you liked today's project using our brand new Itty Bitty Greetings. If you have any questions, you know that you can just reach out to me. Head on over to my blog if you want to read more about my iStampin Club. And like I said, that will be linked in the description box. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.